Most older people struggle to live beyond 80 because of these 4 hidden health reasons. Have you ever found yourself wondering, why do some people seem to glow with energy well into their 80s, while others begin to fade far earlier? It's not just about fate, or family genes, or how many green smoothies someone had in their lifetime. No, it's deeper than that. It's about a few hidden health factors most people never talk about until it's too late. Here's the truth. Most older adults don't struggle to live past 80 because they just get old. They struggle because of a handful of silent forces working against them, quietly, invisibly, over years. And unless we see them for what they are, they can sneak up and steal time. Not just years from your life, but life from your years. Now, before you panic, here's the good news. There are 7 surprisingly simple, even uplifting shifts you can make, starting today, that can turn things around. These aren't gimmicks or extreme diets or 20-step biohacks. They're practical, rooted in expert observation, and best of all, totally doable. So let's make a deal. Stick with me until the end of this video, because somewhere in these next few minutes is a game-changing truth. One that might not just extend your life, but help you live it more fully, more freely, more joyfully. Let's start with a story. My neighbor Tom used to be the guy everyone wanted to grow old like. In his 50s and 60s, he was unstoppable, out the door by sunrise, walking 3 miles before most people had poured their coffee. He rarely got sick. He always had a project. People said, if I can be like Tom when I'm older, I'll be lucky. But something changed, and it happened faster than anyone expected. By 75, his energy began slipping. Not all at once, but little things. He'd skip his walk if it rained. Then even on sunny days, his knees started to ache. He lost his appetite, and slowly, that vibrant man started fading. By 78, he spent more time sitting alone in a waiting room than enjoying his own garden. That sparkle in his eyes dimmed. Now here's the wild part. Just a few blocks away, my Aunt Lila, same age, 84 now, was texting me selfies from a kayaking trip. Not a cruise. Kayak. Hair messy from the wind, grinning ear to ear. She's not a gym rat. She doesn't count every calorie. But she moves. She's endlessly curious. She has inside jokes with her mailman. She lives. So what made the difference? It wasn't genetics. They both ate decently. They both had good doctors. But where one quietly declined, the other kept rising. Why? That question haunted me, until I learned about something doctors call the silent saboteur. You've probably heard of inflammation, like when you sprain your ankle and it swells up, red and hot. That's acute inflammation. It screams. You see it, feel it, fix it. But there's another kind. One most people never notice until it's done serious damage. Chronic, low-grade inflammation. It doesn't scream. It whispers, like a slow drip behind the walls of a house, quietly warping everything. Doctors have a name for it. Inflammaging. It's not a buzzword. It's a slow-burning, invisible fire that gradually wears down your body's systems. It damages your cells, accelerates aging, and lays the foundation for all those health issues people assume are just part of getting old. Heart problems, diabetes, brain fog, even dementia. And the scariest part? You might feel fine while it's happening. No pain, no warnings, just a slow fade, until one day you realize the stairs feel steeper, your memory's a little foggier, and your energy's been on vacation for months. But here's the good news. If it can sneak in silently, it can also be pushed out with small, powerful daily choices. You just have to know what to look for. First, let's talk food. One of the sneakiest sources of chronic inflammation is what's on our plates. Sugar, processed oils, refined carbs, they're not just empty calories. They're fuel for that hidden fire. But the beautiful part is, food can also be the fire extinguisher. Start with something small. Add a handful of blueberries to your breakfast. Toss some turmeric into your soup. Drizzle olive oil instead of margarine. These aren't just trendy. They're packed with natural anti-inflammatories that help calm the body from the inside out. And don't worry, I'm not telling you to go vegan overnight or live on green juice. This is about balance. Every good choice nudges you toward a more vibrant future. Now here's another trick: movement. I'm not saying you need to run marathons, but just 20 to 30 minutes of walking a day can work wonders. It gets your blood flowing, helps regulate your immune system, and cools that internal flame. I remember visiting a retirement community once where the healthiest residents had a daily ritual. After dinner, they'd all walk a few laps around the courtyard. Rain or shine, not power walking, just moving, talking, smiling. And I'll tell you, they looked younger than their age, more alive. But movement doesn't just have to be walking, gardening, dancing in your kitchen, stretching before bed. It all counts. The secret is consistency, not intensity. And then there's stress. Oh, that sneaky culprit. Chronic stress is like pouring gasoline on that inflammatory fire. Your body can't tell the difference between running from a lion or dealing with constant emails, family tension, or loneliness. It reacts the same way with inflammation. Here's where deep breathing, mindfulness, or even just laughing with a friend becomes medicine. Literally. Studies show that regular relaxation practices lower inflammation markers in the body. So next time you feel guilty for pausing to enjoy your coffee, don't. You might be extending your life. Let me ask you this. What's one tiny change you could make today to reduce inflammation in your life? Maybe it's switching that soda for a glass of water with lemon. Maybe it's taking a 5-minute walk after lunch. Or maybe it's just taking 3 deep breaths before you check your messages. Pick one. Try it. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. Now, let's shift to another silent force that takes a toll on so many people after 70. Creeps in slowly, often unnoticed, until one day, getting out of a chair feels like lifting a boulder. It's called sarcopenia, muscle loss with age. But let's call it what it really is, the slow fading of strength, mobility, and independence. And the scary part? It often starts as early as your 40s, silently weakening your foundation. Imagine this: 2 men, both 80 years old. One can carry groceries, lift his grandkids, and climb stairs with ease. The other struggles to stand up without help. The difference? Not genes, not luck, just how they used or didn't use their muscles. Here's something most people don't realize. You don't lose muscle just because you get older. You lose it because you stop using it. And thankfully, that means you can get it back. I remember my Uncle Joe. After his 70th birthday, he began strength training with soup cans in his kitchen. At first, it looked funny, him doing little curls while watching the news. But within a year, he had more energy, fewer falls, and a kind of confidence I hadn't seen in him for a long time. So what can you do? Start small. Try standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times in a row. No hands. That's a squat. Do it daily. Or lift a water bottle overhead 5 times. That's a shoulder press. Your body doesn't care if it's gym equipment or laundry detergent. It just wants to move. Protein also plays a big role here. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein to build muscle. That means we actually need more of it, not less. So adding an extra egg to breakfast or a handful of nuts in the afternoon. That's not just a snack. It's muscle medicine. And don't forget vitamin D. It's not just for bones. It helps maintain muscle function, too. A little sunlight or a supplement can go a long way. Here's a quick reflection for you. Can you easily get up from the floor without using your hands? If that sounds tough, that's your signal. Not a reason to worry, but a reason to act. Now, you might be wondering, what happens when we don't sleep well, even though we feel like we rested? Or why do some people in their 70s start to forget things, even though their bodies seem fine? That's where we're headed next. But before we go there, take a moment. Stand up, stretch your arms above